Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Wissner from Inte.Team. Guys, so we've got weird device, so I thought I will record it. Logitech. Yes, that's a device that is capable of managing your audio. You've got a LAN, you've got optical and digital, and you've got analog, and you've got headphone jack here. You've got a MAC address, and it's squeezebox. It's called squeezebox. Okay, I managed to, with T10 there were 2 screws, so I removed them. That's all I did. Customer said that there's no power. So how to get to you? Oh, there is something loose. Oh, look, that was easy. Okay, so let's get this one aside. And now we can go to the bottom. That's smaller, that's not T10s, I would say. T7. Oh, definitely not. Okay, let's open here and let's try T8. It's stiff, but it's not ideal. Oh, that's stiff. Okay. So that is T10. Okay. So I was wrong. That is T10. Good that they've used one size, only different length. I'm curious why there's no power to this device. Oh, that display has this coloring, but it's on this side as well. Maybe I'm just exaggerating. I don't know how this display is driven, so they got high voltage because these are the older types. They can have easily tens of volts. Yay! Okay, so first things first, we want to see under magnifying glass any physical damages or something blown. So no capacitors are leaking, but in that case we've got this coming to here. So this socket goes via this PCB up to the pin to here, and then goes to the other side. Is it removable or not non-removable? Nope, it's looking like it's soldered, so we cannot remove it. But in that case we need to see where the power is going, and the socket is stiff. So what we can do is we can see what it is. It's 5 volts, 2 amps, but the polarity is not set. So we don't know, is it plus in the center or plus at the outer side of the barrel. Let's check it. Okay. So that's our positive, and the negative is here, so the positive is the deeper one. And now we can find any capacitor, like here is the ground of the capacitor. Nope. So the positive side is the positive side is the center of this. So we can plug in 5 volts now, and we can check what will happen. Yes, of course we do not expect anything to happen. So let's take this wire with bananas, and we need to take different plug. Let's disconnect here this cable, and let's plug in bananas from this cable. Now let's start it up. Let's take off this thing, and let's set on 5 volts, and that was 2 amperes. So let's set OCP, overcurrent protection. Ooh, this barrel is wrong. So what we need is a bit thicker. Maybe this will do. Nope, still too little. And it was so looking fine. This, yeah, this will do. Positive. We've got 5 volts, 2 amperes, OCP, so overcurrent protection, and power on, and nothing. Completely. And it's taking 2 watts. 5 volts, 0.4 amps, and 2 watts. So we can turn on thermal camera. Hello! And we can wait for it to load and see what is taking those 2 watts. Okay. (28 degrees) the highest. 31. That's like voltage regulator or something. But that's only 31 watts. And there is no current taken. Yeah, 29 watts. Sorry, 29 degrees on this side. No other spots. Don't know if you can see it. Yeah, the biggest is 32, and it doesn't grow too much. So that's okay, but in that case what it means is that there's no short. How you would now diagnose it? Yes, that's the question. For me, if there's no immediate short, that can mean I can try to check every power rail and understand what's what. Plus, I would check for, hold on, let's switch off the printer, no, not needed. Plus, I would like to understand where the current is going and where it's stopping. So for me, we should see those 5 volts coming somewhere on the board before some management chip. 4 volts. So it's undervolted. So in that case we can count that some of the capacitors don't load. What? 56 volts. 56 volts, that would be the power for the display. Nichicon, good company. We like Nichicon. 11, again I would expect 12 but not 11. So we would need to see how the current is going and replace few capacitors first. Don't do anything else because there's no shorts. Yeah, 3.28. You see? Not 3.3 but 3.28. It's not on. Not on. Again, 4.94, not 5. So I would say maybe the capacitors are not charging the way they're supposed to. And what if I would switch off the output, just for argument's sake, and I would go with the voltage at amperage, volts, 6 volts. Okay, let's increase to 6 volts. Overcurrent protection and output. Still nothing. Takes 2.3 watts of current. Output out off, but we can see here that it's 5 volts. It's too bright to see. I can't show you. I cannot show it. 5 volts and 2 amps, yeah. So I cannot use more power because I don't want to do something. Guys, you know what I will do first? I will remove the main section capacitors, measure capacitance, measure ECR on them, like internal resistance, and then check them. Replace them and check the device, yes? Because for me, it doesn't look like there's any fault here. It's only looking like there's inefficient power. Again, I can be wrong, yes? Is it removable? Not really, because that can take some power. So if I could switch it on without it, that could potentially take less current. Still nothing, and takes just a bit less, 2.0 watts, 2.02. I can ask the customer to bring in the remote as well. Why it's so? It's because I don't know this device. I don't know how it operates. For me, like in person, I would expect to have at least standby LED. You know, some standby LED. But I don't see any standby LED here, so on the display there should be something. So I would say yes, that's the plan for now. I will contact the customer. I will ask to, that's a local customer, I will ask to bring in the remote. I will test it with the remote first. Then if I will see no difference, like will behave the same way, then I can make a decision, yes? So guys, we will see. I'll record the next video and I will tell you exactly what have I found. Thank you. Bye-bye.